What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for the weekly rotation, and we've got a lot of variety. Some stuff that's slightly heavier. Still a lot of tropical stuff, a lot of summer-oriented fragrances. Just, man, it's, don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying the freshies, but I'm starting to get to the point to where I'm wanting to wear some fall fragrances, and I'm still a ways away from that weather, but it's not stopping me from mixing some stuff in here and there. Highly complimented stuff when we went out and about. A lot of stuff the wife really enjoys, and then some personal favorites of mine are in here for week number 243 in the weekly rotation. So let's discuss. Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, fruity, spicy, woody, very monstrous. Crazy performer. This line in particular is just loaded with beasts from Dumont. This is Royal Mystique number 3. Man, did a full review on this one this week. It's got the sugared sweetness, fruity tones, spices, woods. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It dries down powdery on my skin, but not, not some powder bomb. There's a lot going on here. A lot of hybrid action and blending going on in this line. Nothing I would call direct carbon copies, but definitely check out my full review for further thoughts from this. But Dumont's really been impressing me with one after another. Not every single fragrance is super special from them, but they do have a few. While I wouldn't dub this one super special, there's another one in the line that I just recently reviewed that we're going to talk about at the end of this week that it's one of my favorites from Dumont. But definitely check this line out, the Ramon Blazar line. This numbered line seems to be, if you're looking for monstrous performers, they've got you covered during the day. This is Royal Mystique number 3. And when I got out the shower, the ultimate, all-time great out the shower fragrance on this channel went back with Nautica Classic. This is probably the next bottle I'll finish because I'm kind of been in the mood to wear this one lately, so I'm going to continue to drop this juice level at least over the next several months, I would say, because typically when I start really enjoying something out the shower, it'll stay on the desk, it'll stay in rotation, and I have a feeling that's what's going to happen here. Saltwater marine aquatic, super weak, like a 2-hour fragrance. It's a nostalgia fragrance for me from my childhood. Not too much like the vintage bottles, like a shell of its former self, but for like $12, it's a decent fragrance. Out the shower, Nautica Classic. Moving into Monday, this is one of the more impressive combos of the week. This reminds me of mango and shaved ice, so like a mango snowball that dries into a nectar cream snowball with some mango on it. Some of you know where I'm going with this. Gritti mango oud. This is super expensive, but totally worth trying, guys. This is the most unique mango fragrance I have. It is so good. My wife loves this fragrance. I love this fragrance. This might be in my top 10 in my collection. I haven't really given it a ton of thought, but in the moment right now, I kind of am. It's that good to me. Man, it's super expensive though, guys. So you can get a sample for like $6 or something like that from So Avant-Garde that I have linked down below. It's like $6 or $7. It's worth trying. It's very expensive, it's very pricey, but if you like mango, which is my favorite fruity note in perfumery, you owe it to yourself to try it. The oud here is a sweeter oud. The coconut isn't a sunscreen type, it's coconut milk. It adds that creamy feel that I was talking about. Not overly floral, not too sweet, but distinctively sweet. Really good sillage, really good longevity. Just really good during the day. Gritti mango oud. And then when I got out the shower, minty aquatic. Went with Hugo now. I just did the Hugo Boss ranking video from worst to best, ranking all of the fragrances that I have from the house, and I was in the mood for this one because I have not wore it in so long. It's so good. It's that typical synthetic, like toothpaste kind of mintiness with a freshwater aquatic with a little bit of saltiness, some citruses, other green notes, a mild musky tone. It's a solid fragrance. It's one of their better freshies from Hugo Boss that just doesn't get a fair shake. Nobody talks about this one. And you can still get it pretty cheap. I encourage you checking it out. Out the shower, Hugo now. Moving into Tuesday, this is one of Xerjoff's best fragrances, just period. In my opinion, is Join the Club 40 Knots. So 40 Knots is kind of an interesting one, because I'll see people praise it in my comments when I talk about it, and I'll still see people crap all over it. Some fragrances are more polarizing than others, I guess. And and I think it's amazing. It's salty, it's spicy, it's sweet, it's aquatic, it's woodsy. It's very different, very unique. I don't find it smells like anything else. It's got really good performance. The quality here, I wouldn't call it top tier. It does have a little bit of a synthetic smell to it, but overall, it does smell like a more expensive fragrance to me personally. I don't think it smells like a cheap designer or anything like that. As far when I say synthetic, there's a lot of higher quality fragrances that use synthetics. A lot, most of them. Most fragrances that are expensive aren't just loaded down with natural oils, guys. This is so good. This is one of the best from the house, in my opinion. I think this is a great one to start with if you've never tried anything from Xerjoff, because I feel it's very approachable, mass appealing, easy to like, and pretty easy to wear overall. During the day, it's 40 knots from Xerjoff. And then we got at the shower. Blast from online Fragcom's past when it comes to cheapy hype beast Rochas Man. People like to call it something very specific, but I think it looks like a light bright peg. Way more than the other thing people like to call it. That looks like a light bright peg. I'm telling you. But anyways, this cappuccino note, fresh and aromatic, sweet, a little bit of spices. I actually prefer it to the Intense. The Intense really is an intense take on this DNA. It came out last year, and I just think the old school, fresher one smells a little better. I don't know why I was in the mood for it out the shower. It just caught my eye. My Rochas fragrances are literally right here on this shelf, and it caught my eye. I said, what the hell, why not? That was literally the deciding factor, was why the hell not? And so out the shower, I figured, why the hell not? Rochas Man. Moving into Wednesday is quite the summer duo. So this one's very unique, and the one out the shower is not. So CH Man Birds of Paradise. I love the bottle first and foremost. Love it. And I get creamy banana smoothie, banana leaf meets banana smoothie kind of thing. Even though that's not the note breakdown, that's what it smells like to me. A little woodsy. It's got this tropical feeling that it evokes. It's a tropical fragrance that's not typical tropical fragrance. It's not loaded with fruits and like cocktail type of smell, like a pina colada or anything like that. It's not full of coconut. It just gives this nice tropical vibe, but meets banana smoothie. Very strange, but I think an underlying darling of a release for this year that's probably not going to get a lot of love from a lot of people. I was fortunate enough to try it and decided that I needed to have a bottle, and here we go. I have a bottle. You want a unique summer fragrance? You might want to check this one out. During the day, CH Man Birds of Paradise. And then I got the shower, probably the best rack store pickup you can get. Tommy Vibrant Summer. Coconut water, citruses, a little green. Musky, clean, aquatic, and fresh. Very, very much a great summertime cheapie. I've had people tell me they've found it for $12, $16, $22. I paid like $22.99. You can find them at Burlington, Ross Dress for Less. Just, it's easier to find at a rack store than it is online, guys. So I may not even have a link for it. I haven't been finding any decent spots for it lately. Just get out to your rack stores and check it out. This is one of those rare times I encourage you. You see it, blind buy it. Just pick it up. If you like coconut in your fragrances, try it, because it's not just a super sunscreen type of coconut, but it is really good. Out the shower, Tommy Vibrant Summer. Moving into Thursday, this to me is the best smelling of the light blue flankers, just a personal preference. I love me some light blue Italian love. I had not worn this in a long time. I was ready. I love the way it smells. It's a sharp, rindy grapefruit bergamot citrus, saltwater aquatic. A little bit of earthiness from some patchouli. I get really good performance. It's not a beast or anything, but above average. I'm such a fan of this one. I recommend the O Intense more because I think it's better value. Really good performer. Smells like an intense version of the original because the original is the best light blue. To me, it's always going to be the best smelling one. This was number 2 in my Dolce & Gabbana video. Light blue, the original, being my number 1. So I was in the mood to wear it, hence why I wore some of these Dolce & Gabbana fragrances this week. It's just, man, I can't say enough good things about it. I would strongly encourage getting your nose on it. It's not the easiest fragrance to find, but if you can, it smells great. During the day, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Italian Love. When I got out the shower, it was time for a good shave, and because this grooming balm is so distinctively strong, I didn't even spray the fragrance. So I lathered up my Zaharoff Signature Citrine Shave Soap, used the aftershave splash, and some of the grooming balm all over my chest collarbone area. It's a lot greener. So like this is reworked from this. This is no longer available, but this is from the Zaharoff website down below. And a little goes a long way with this stuff, guys. There's a shower gel and a grooming balm. So it's much greener. Much more fresh green than just citrus. There's not as much clementine and sweet orange. Though it's not as citrus heavy as this. Like there's more heart notes that comes out of this. It's a kind of a fresh green woody base that comes to life with a little bit of the citruses. This is so good. And it's strong. Strong. My God, is this strong, the oils in here. This stuff is a long lasting, for what it is, several hours. You're going to smell this. And it's really strong coming off of the skin. This stuff like lingers in the air. You swear you put pure oil on. The sillage is so strong. So if you like Signature Citrine, this grooming balm is a must. Out the shower, had a good shave, was a Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Moving into Friday, this is my favorite of the line in that Ramon Blazar line from Dumont that I mentioned earlier. This smells like very much along the lines of spicy Baccarat Rouge. It's supposedly duping Thomas Kosmala number 4 Après. I forgot how to say it, that one, but it's similar to this name. This is Jus d'Amour, number 4. Supposedly this is duping that, and that must be incredible because it smells like spicy, like cinnamon. Like if you look at the notes in this, it's not painting the right picture because there's no spicy notes in the note breakdown for this. But it smells like my wife literally said, it smelled like Red Hots in my room when I sprayed it the other day. I'm such a sucker for this. It smells like a warm, spicy, fiery, hot Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm here for it. It's so good. This is the kind of twist on the DNA that I am here for. God, I love this fragrance. Monster. Like I mentioned about this line earlier. Monster. This stuff's crazy strong. Just did a full review on this one as well. I gave it really, really high praise, as you can tell by my reaction just sniffing this atomizer. This is my kind of jam right here. I highly encourage checking this one out. And check out my full review for more details during the day. Jus d'Amour number 4 from Dumont. And as far as out the shower, nothing. Gave myself a break. So let's move into the next day. Finally on Saturday. So this just came in. And I'm seeing now that it's leaking around the atomizer, which I'll show you guys. It seems to be a thing with these Spice Bomb fragrances. So Spice Bomb Dark Leather. You see that? It's sitting on my desk, but still manages for that to happen. It's a thing. Like I had hell with infrared eau de toilette that came out a couple of years ago. I had this problem with Night Vision eau de parfum. I didn't have this much of a problem with infrared EDP. So this has gotten a lot of mixed reviews. My thoughts on it now that I spent a day with it yesterday, because I wore it yesterday. It is a lot of leather, not as much spice as you would think. So it's black pepper, leather, and incense. And yeah, it's a very smoky leather, dark, mysterious, and it's more of a subtle fragrance. So a lot of people complain, I've noticed, complain about performance. That's the main thing I've been seeing. Not as spicy as I think it should be, weak performer. I hope they put out an eau de parfum, which this is an eau de parfum. So I don't understand where they're going with that. They'd have to make a parfum. Not everything needs to be a monster. So I'm going to give you a perspective that a lot of you aren't going to want to hear because you're all performance whores. All of you. You watching this, you're a performance whore. You feel like everything needs to be a monster. This is an incredible date night option for a couple that enjoys dark leather. It just happens to be called that. But darker leather accords, dominant dark leather fragrances. If you and your lady enjoy that type of stuff, and you're going on an intimate evening together, this is a closer encounter type of fragrance. This reminds me of the way, wrong one, grab my example, this performs. This is La Nuit de l'Homme L'Intense. This got, shredded for being a weak performing fragrance. This is like 4 or 5 hours of longevity, about an hour of projection, and it's not crazy strong. It's a very intimate setting fragrance. This is like me and my wife's favorite intimate setting fragrance. This is just what it is. This is intimate, private, close quarters. That's what this fragrance is. I feel like this does the same evening type of situation, but instead of powdery florals and sweetness. Leather smoke with a little spice. Different profile does same job. So this is perspective some of you aren't going to want to hear. I understand uses for different fragrances. I see the good in most, which I hope a lot of you would appreciate. Is it strong like the others? No. There's others in the line that will do that job for you. I don't think it's a better fragrance than Infrared Eau de Parfum, which was my favorite designer release of 2023. I don't think this can hold a candle to it. I think this doesn't even go number 2 in the Spice Bomb line. I think it's probably like a strong 3 for me. I would put Night Vision Eau de Parfum at number 2, and this would be a strong number 3. For me personally, my own personal rankings, because I do think it smells really good. I love a dark leather accord. I was very excited about this. This does not overtake Boss the Scent Elixir for me as my favorite designer release of the year, because it's not even my number 2 favorite designer release this year. So I want to make sure to let you guys understand that because I have some good things to say about it, I'm not raving about it either. So people twist and manipulate. So that's why I'm trying to be very, very clear, because people is all I'll say. But do not blind buy this, because you'll probably be disappointed. Because as stated, most people are performance whores. Got to have the performance. And if you got to have the performance, you don't need to have this fragrance. This is 100% a must sample first. Please do not blind buy this fragrance. Even if you come across a pretty good deal, I would encourage not blind buying this fragrance and sampling first to see if you like the profile first and foremost. And if you are the type that looks at wearing experience and how something smells as being the most important situation and thing about a fragrance for you, that's going to be a deciding factor on if you're going to spend your money on it, then you're probably going to find some appreciation for this, because there's a great evening setting for this. Because not everybody that you meet or you come across, like you guys going on first dates, 9 times out of 10, that lady's not going to want you to smell like you bathed in your cologne. Most people don't like that, contrary to the online community's belief. Most people don't like that. So this is a less is more fragrance. So this is actually better for that mysterious, subtle first impression. I actually really appreciate that they did this. Now, my longevity that I got from it was about 5 to 6 hours. Cool with that. Would I like it to last a little bit longer? Of course I would, but I understand that there's uses for these things, and I'm not going on dates that last longer than 5 or 6 hours anyway. So for some of you, this is going to be a complete pass, and that's all good, because not everybody needs to have every fragrance. Not everybody needs to have this. Not everybody's going to like this. It's not what I hoped it would be. It did not meet my expectation for sure, but I'm okay with how it did turn out. I will be doing a full review. I'm going to do a little bit more testing, but that's where I stand right here on this one. Probably the only person giving this take currently, because it is a really nice smell if you like darker resin, like resinous smoky leathers. Yeah, and it's a softer projection. It's not intrusive. It's not obnoxious. And it's not the longest lasting thing. It's like average. So if you understand that going forward, and you know you have settings where this will shine, this might be something to look to try and potentially add to your collection. If you don't have settings where you feel this suits, you might not even want to bother sampling it, because it's not some super long-lasting fragrance. It's not some super loud fragrance. It's not necessarily going to be some monstrosity compliment getter unless you're putting it in the right setting around the right crowd. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, as far as out the shower, I went with the goat of summer for me, Seraphim Blue. Fun fact, I'm actually wearing it today as well. I wore this last night. It's Sunday at the recording of this. I'm wearing it again. Wintergreen Fresh, Minty Aquatic, Creamy Coconut, soft powdery florals, a little musky, long lasting but not super loud. Huge fan. I talk about it all the time, so I won't go too long with this one, especially since I had so much to say about the Spice Bomb flanker. But out the shower, I'm Seraphim Blue. Well, that was this past week's rotation, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Did you happen to wear anything that I wore this week? Does anybody agree with my assessment of Spice Bomb Dark Leather? Did anybody get triggered and offended by what I had to say about Spice Bomb Dark Leather? If you did and you're still here, please don't take everything so seriously. I try to be very straight up and straightforward with my thoughts with you guys, and sometimes you might not want to hear what I have to say. It's going to be contrary to popular belief, you know? And sometimes I'm going to go right along with what everybody else thinks because it just seems to be the right decision. In this case, I think I'm probably, because I haven't watched anybody else's opinion, but I've been hearing the rumblings of the weak performance complaint and good but not special but weak performer. That's the things I've been hearing. So my little bit of experience with it is I do appreciate actually that it's not a monster, because not everything needs to be, because I don't always wear monsters most of the time anyway. 9 times out of 10 I'm wearing a fragrance that would fall into average performance, and I mean most of the time I'm going to wear an average performer because I don't need a beast. I try to put beasts in the appropriate setting, and I don't always have the appropriate setting to just be that guy with that crazy strong fragrance. You know what I mean? So be mindful of your situations, you know? Not everything needs to be a monster every day of your life, all the time, constantly destroying your nose, your own nose. You're screwing up your own nose all the time, guys. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.